try and start this drive in the air. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A good start. One play, 10 yards. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back to Walker on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be caught downfield by Fant. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 33 yards that time.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Ultra.
Walker now on first and 10. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And his kick is indeed good. All offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw. That's complete to Tyler Johnson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
And down to the 36-yard line here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Wentz now on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Wentz going to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Connor. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with his 1st career touchdown in his 1st career game. And the Texans have taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And space tough to come by there as they'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now. He completes it to Beckham. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They'll drop the throw. They'll fire one downfield for Fant. And this one is incomplete.
I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Quick slant complete to OBJ. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. A nice throw right there. And these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run. Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. That time on the punt, and the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Safety Grant Delpit up to make the play.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they take over right at the 50. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Fans, a reminder, coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for highlights and analysis and scores from around the NFL here in this opening weekend.
Let's put the coach to work.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw went a little too far, brings up 3rd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Wentz. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. Returnable for Lockett. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, if you pull up his college highlight reel, you will see no shortage of great throws, and here's one in his NFL debut for big yardage.
And this is going to be a big test early in his career. How accurate can he be on throws like this? If he keeps doing that, he's going to be just fine.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's through, and that makes the lead at 10-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Taken in at the 3.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised. Runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6.
Wentz.
He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 53 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz rolling to his right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 12 more yards there and another first down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling the back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
Now Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Houston.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try and move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now, because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick 6.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Maliek Collins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Another completion there. And we think back to the draft in the spring. This franchise essentially handing him the keys to the operation, a top 5 pick. Charles, how ready do you think he is?
I think he's ready for the NFL in terms of size, speed, the makeup of him, the character of him. The key is going to be, will this team accept everything he brings to the game and adapt to it, not just necessarily plug him into something that he doesn't do well.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
It certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for it. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Now a handoff looking right. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. It feels pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a 1st down.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And they'll indeed take a knee. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? And they will take a knee here. Now Ka'imi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans.